still warming up.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in our opening hymn, number 231, Angels We've Heard on High. We'll sing verses 1 and 2, and the lyrics are on the screen. be seated.
Good morning. Wow, look at all y'all. I mean, really, look at all y'all. It is so good to see you on this morning. Welcome to the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, or ERUUF as we like to say. My name is Reverend Jacqueline Brett. I'm the lead minister here, and whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race, your gender identities, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey or in your search for truth, for meaning, for liberation, we welcome you here with us in beloved community. If you are, yes. Let's have a little more enthusiasm behind that clap. There we are. Yes. In this time, that is what we need, right? We need places like this, and we need to be enthusiastic that they exist, that we exist. If you are visiting with us for the first or perhaps even the second time, even the third time, I invite you to rise in body or spirit so that we might give you an ERUUF welcome. Do not be shy. Yes. Welcome, welcome. Yes. And if you who are watching at home on the live stream have available to you a chat box, put your name in the chat box and someone will welcome you there as well. So today is a wonderful day. It's one of my favorite days, and that is our holiday service called Lessons and Carols. And there you are. We will be hearing from our many music groups, and they will be giving us the carols. You look really adorable. Yes. And I bet I know what song you're singing, but you're not singing that song. You just look like that song, right? Okay. Do you want to come up here so everybody can see what I'm talking about? Doesn't she look adorable? Look at that. She's not singing the song that I thought she was singing. I'm sorry. I have made this child mortified. But anyway, so the carols are coming from our vast array of music groups. We have riches in music here at ERUUF, and we'll get to hear from many of those groups today. And the lessons will be coming from our senior staff. All except one, Michael Gilbert Singletary, was unable to be with us today, has caught one of the many things that are going around right now, and unfortunately, they're not able to be here. So, but I will read Michael's piece that they have written. And speaking of the senior staff, I want to acknowledge all of the rest of our staff as well. So although we won't be hearing from them today, know that they are behind the scenes making all of this happen. That is Michelle Sager, Aaron Brown, Steve Bader, Kate Lewis, and John Fellheim, who's holding down the office this morning. And we're also, what's up, Steve? I see you waving. That wasn't to me, right? And we're also excited to have some honored people that we call unpaid staff. And that today, I really want to recognize Scott Gaskins. Scott's role today is to handle all of the sound that these various groups will need. So we're really excited that... Oh, so we got jokes, huh? I was just going to say you're like the OG of sound here at ERUUF. So, okay. All right. I do want to briefly say that I see people standing in the back. There's a whole row of seats right here. Come on down. Whole row, entire row. We will not bite. Come on down. 2 whole rows. And there's some seats here. Do you mind sharing? Okay, there's some space up here as well. So I just want to let you know that you're all invited. If you have a seat available near you, raise your hand. Yes, see? There's places. We have room for everybody. You barely have enough room, Virginia. Okay, and there's an entire row right here up front as well. Okay, so while they're finding seats, I just wanted to make sure all of you know about all of the services that we're having over the next couple of weeks. On Wednesday, we are having our Jazz for the Holidays service, and which is always a beautiful service. Some of you may have received invitations to that, and we especially invite people who have experienced grief over the last couple of years. I would dare say we have all experienced some grief, right, over the last couple of months. So, everybody is welcome, and you can invite anybody that you'd like to have come to that very special, very beautiful service that is taking place here on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. On Sunday, Reverend Daniel, we return to our regular 2 services this coming Sunday, the 22nd, led by Reverend Daniel. And then on Christmas Eve, on the 24th, we will have at 5 p.m. the children's pageant I skipped one service. On the 21st is our solstice service led by our pagans here. And that is always a beautiful service. It takes place in the fellowship hall. On the 24th, Christmas Eve, we begin at 5 p.m. with our children's pageant. And then at 6 p.m., we will have comfort and cookies, as Michael is calling it. We can still use, for those of you who would like to contribute something, some soups and some cookies or other things you might want to contribute to that. Please reach out to Michael about that. We would love to have that. And then at 7 o'clock, we will have our candle light service that we do every Christmas Eve. You can come to one or you can come to all of them. It'll be a wonderful, beautiful evening. And then raise hands again if you've got seats next to you. Everybody, folks in the back, everybody raising their hand has a seat next to them. Come on down, sunshine. Come on down. And then on the 29th, as you all know, is our Kwanzaa service, which is an amazing service in itself, with our guest preacher being the Reverend Dr. Sophia Bentoncourt, the president of the UUA. So we are really looking forward to that as well. So now would be a great time to turn off or down any devices you have on your person. Do it now, because when they go off later, you'll be mortified. Right. Thank you, Kate. Except that it won't stop. And let's all together take a deep breath in and let it out. And let us begin service. It is a wonder and mystery that our paths have crossed, that in the immensity of time and the vastness of space, we coincide here. I am in awe at the ways in which our lives intersect and intertwine, at the beauty we create together when we gather.
May our coming together make us more compassionate, more just, more caring, and more loving. May our hearts and minds be open to this offering. I'm so glad you are here.
As we light our chalice this morning, let us marvel at the miracle of being here right now and the mystery that has brought us together. We also light the candles of the Advent wreath. The first candle representing hope. The second candle, peace. And the third, and on this third Sunday of Advent, the candle we light signifies joy. May it be so. So as I said, Michael Gilbert Singletary is ill today. They are the director of membership development here. And Michael was very much looking forward to doing this reflection. And I cannot do it the justice that Michael would do it, but listen and take in his words, their words. They began with a quote from Maya Angelou that says, "The ache of home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned." One of my safe places is on my back deck where nature surrounds my home. My other safe place is, surprise, surprise, here at ERUUF. This year, I found myself needing my safe place. As non-binary and queer, I enjoy wearing makeup, adorning a flowy feminine wardrobe, and I love my bling. I shamelessly wear my identity for the world to see. But as the election closed in, I found myself becoming afraid. Hate towards trans people exploded this year. Most days, I stopped wearing makeup except on Sunday mornings. I removed the Protect Trans Kids magnet from my car. For the LGBTQIA+ community, and especially for my trans community, the election relayed a message to us. America would rather pay less for eggs than see the trans community thrive in our truest form. That our trans youth are confused, and it is not compassionate to affirm their identity. This vitriol broke me. One evening, about a week after the election, in the safe place of my back deck, I found that I could not shake this monster fear. As I obsessed over what was to come, my soul lit up like fire and scolded me, "Enough! No more fear. This is who you are, and you will not be afraid." I brought that feeling to ERUUF the next day when I welcomed our trans and non-binary community members to service. It brought me pure joy, giving my soul strength and pride. Something changed inside of me. I could no longer be afraid. I'm now compelled to wear makeup every day and to promote the protection of our trans youth at every chance I get. I feel strong, and I cannot back down from it. To my trans siblings, young and old, I want to encourage you. If there's a pretty dress you've been wanting to show off at worship, especially if it has pockets, wear it. If you have a cool, masculine vibe you've been wanting to rock on Sunday mornings, please feel free to do it. ERUUF is a safe place for all queer folk. I am proud to call ERUUF my safe place and to be on staff here. On this year's Lessons and Carols, to my trans siblings, I beckon you into this space, echoing the lyrics of the song you're about to hear. Come in, come in, come in. Ye carolers trudging through the snow, come in, drink up some cider, sit by the fire, and warm up your fingers and toes. May it be so.
Come in, ye carolers trudging around in the snow. Come in, sit by the fire and warm up your fingers and toes. Come in, ye carolers trudging around in the snow. Carolers trudging around by the fire and warm up your fingers and toes. Carolers trudging around in the snow. Carolers trudging around by the fire and warm up your fingers and toes. Carolers trudging around in the snow. Carolers trudging around by the fire and warm up some cider and warm up your fingers and toes. Come in, ye carolers trudging around in the snow. Come in, sit by the fire and drink up some cider and warm up your fingers and toes.
When I was 10 years old, I read a book listing what one historian believed were to be the 100 most influential people in all of history. Within its pages, at a young 10 years old, my mind encountered prophets, gurus, philosophers, and preachers who were completely foreign to me. Among them, Muhammad, peace be upon him, Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, Mani, who was the founder of the extinct Manichaean faith, Zoroaster, and the Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu. After these on-paper encounters with faiths so different from my own, it made going back to my fundamentalist Christian church and listening to hellfire and brimstone sermons very, very confusing. And I made a decision in my elementary school brain without consulting anybody else. You see, I was taught that the point of religion was to not go to the fires of hell. And so it seemed to me that I was not betting my eternity very well by just focusing on one faith. When I got older, I thought to my little self, I should spend a year or two perhaps as a Muslim, a Jew, a Jainist, a Taoist, a Buddhist, and maybe even, if I could find a way to do so, a Manichaean. That way, by the end of my life, I should receive all my little tickets out of hell from each religion, and I would be protected from whatever were to happen in the afterlife. Now, as I grew up past 10 years old and left my fundamentalist upbringing, I found that this earlier understanding of religion as fire insurance was obviously completely misguided. But I still kept my passion, which was birthed in that moment, for multi-faith dialogue. I sought out and made friends in masjids, churches, synagogues, temples, monasteries, ashrams, living rooms, and even dark basement bars, where people practiced beautifully varied means of connecting with something that they believed was far bigger than themselves. And in each of these places, and in each of these friendships that I have built, I've been welcomed in and given hospitality, a gift, especially the gift of song and melody. The Havdalah blessings and Nigun often play in my head when the air is peaceful, given to me from my Jewish friends. The melodic recitation of the morning hour, Surah 93 in the Quran, comes to my lips as a prayer of gratitude almost daily. Krishna's flute has often rung out in my dreams. And with these melodies, not appropriated, but freely offered and appreciated as gifts from ways of life distinct from my own, I have come away from these sacred spaces with my heart warmed by the fire of hospitality, encouraged to go back into my life, ready to play my own tune while I travel my own road, wherever it may lead.
My kindergarten teacher was a very tall, slender, very young, and very gentle man named Mr. Lovering. I absolutely adored Mr. Lovering, and I have a strong memory of the day that he announced that we would be putting on a holiday show, a sort of Christmas pageant whose plot was something like The Night Before Christmas. I've struggled with anxiety all my life, and looking back, I believe that what happened next was that I had what I would now call a very, very minor panic attack. Small. I loved Christmas, I loved Mr. Lovering, and I loved plays, but the thought of doing something new had me catastrophizing about the future rather than listening to my teacher as he read aloud the cast list. I was startled back to attention at the sound of my name, which must have been near the end of the list, and what I heard was that I was going to play the role of a president. I thought to my 5-year-old self, I wonder which president. At the age of 5, I only knew of the most iconic presidents, and at that time, possibly Jimmy Carter. I sensed something wasn't quite right, but I wasn't sure what, because of course I had missed several, if not all, context clues. I envisioned myself in an Abe Lincoln stovepipe hat or a white powdered wig a la George Washington, and wondered, how in the world is this a Christmas play? Eventually, somebody, most likely my mother, informed me that I was not in fact cast as a US president. I was to be a present. Yeah, that's right. A gift-wrapped box. I have always battled anxiety, and I always will. But over time and with a lot of hard work, I've learned how to not let it control me. Anxiety thrives on taking us out of the present. I can easily become hyper-vigilant, worrying about what I need to accomplish, when what I actually need to do is play or rest. Or I might ruminate over a mistake or a misstep I made last week or even years ago. It's much harder for anxiety to take the wheel, however, when I practice presence. And the present is where music lives. I used to think I made music as a way to escape the present, but I was wrong. Making music forces me to be present. Shaping the movement of sound through time, at least for me, can be the very essence of presence. It's where I find the sublime and experience awe. I feel connected to others in creating beauty. I escape my head, and I show up in order to truly participate in life. When I was 5, practicing presence was hard, and being a present was kind of boring. Obviously. Today I find power and I find reward in the practice of presence. May we all find comfort and joy in the practice of presence this season and always.
So on this day, when we are hearing from our staff, I am very sad to say that we must also say goodbye to a very valued member of our staff. Today was to be Melissa Smith's last day here, but she was unable to be present because she's caring for a sick family member. As a key member of our religious exploration staff, Melissa has served our congregation, its children and families in countless ways since taking on her role here about 4 years ago, including traveling from Greensboro, where she has been commuting from these past couple of years. Melissa, when I first moved to North Carolina from New York over 20 years ago, I quickly learned that the very Southern phrase, "bless your heart," was not always a true blessing or compliment. But as I have been thinking of you, Melissa, what came up more than anything for me was your heart. And so I bless your heart. The great love in your heart, not only expressed in your service to the children, families, and youth here at ERUUF, but so obviously in your 3 daughters, 2 of whom are here. Raise your hands, girls. And your husband. May the love that lies within your heart continue to grow and find new places where its seeds may be planted as a blessing to others. And may the joy in your heart, signified by your laughter and your ready smile, as well as the compassion of your ready tears, the commitments and creativity of your heart expressed in your keen intellect and invaluable ideas, may all these abundant gifts of your heart be blessed. May they all continue to expand and be a blessing to all those who encounter you in the times to come, just as they have been for us.
And a blessing for Melissa and Noel, who will hopefully watch this later, who are streaming now, and Colette and Madeline and Joel, who are here. A blessing not to bring you what you, this is not about bringing you what you do not have, but rather to manifest the reminders of what is already in your life. I'm going to stroll on over here. There it is. So first, for joy, those moments that play across your life in jubilation, welcoming them, regardless of if they are fleeting moments, long passages of life, and also everywhere in between. For worthiness, to be reminded of the worthiness that is already inside of you and is already inside of you. As you are now, not as you could be or you will be. I'm sure those versions of you could and will be great. And the you now already possesses robust worthiness. And for hope. To know that even when challenges arrive, and even when those challenges persist, knowing that possibility can always be there, even through those challenges. A reminder that all is not lost, and all is indeed never lost. Joy, worthiness, and hope. Blessings for your journey.
We are going to miss all of you. We really will, because we're not only leaving, your mom is not only leaving us, but you won't be here either. So my heart feels that. But that said, we offer no words of goodbye, only farewell until we see you all again.
And just be careful, there's water in it. You don't tip it over. You got it, Kaleb?
Can I give you a little hug? Thank you. Okay.
You were great.
During the week of Kwanzaa, families and communities come together to share a feast, honor the ancestors, affirm the bonds between them, and celebrate African and African American culture. Each of the days of the celebration is dedicated to one of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Principles can be communicated through discussion, creative expression, or ritual. Another way is through story and storytelling. Azar Nafizi writes, "Stories link us to our past, provide us with critical insight into the present, and enable us to envision our lives not just as they are, but as they might become." This morning, I offer a simple story about the Kwanzaa principle of Ujamaa, or cooperative economics. A number of years ago, I worked with an organization that offered classes in holistic health and healing throughout the world. One site for a teaching tour was at Akabazini, a Zulu cultural village near Pietermaritzburg, South Africa. The manager of the village gave me a tour of the place, which I learned was both a working farm and also an education center to preserve Zulu culture. I learned many things at this special place and on that trip, including what it feels like to be chased by an elephant. True story. One thing that made a lasting impact on me was observing the way this man lived out his values. In showing me around, he was particularly proud of a portion of the farm which included a variety of plants and crops native to the land. He explained that farming practices driven by big agribusiness promoted monoculture and made farmers dependent on their products because they sold GMO seeds that, while hardy and productive, did not self-germinate. Now, I won't go on a long digression about the dynamics of the world's farm, food supply, and food insecurity. I will share, though, a portion of what he shared with me. He would travel to conferences and markets around South Africa to work cooperatively with other farmers to explore the possibility of preserving heirloom crops and native plant species that were being pushed out by big agro-dominance. He would return to his farm with shared plants or seeds, which over time had created a whole diverse garden designed to preserve crops and vegetables from monoculture extinction. He was a pioneer in South Africa, encouraging the cooperative sharing of plants and promoting sustainable farming practices. His deep connection to the land, his passion, knowledge, and action, despite the large corporate monopoly of the farming business, stayed with me for many years. In the face of overwhelming forces, how can one person possibly make a difference? Yet here he was, with a thriving indigenous plant garden and an active network inspiring others to do the same in their corner of the world. To me, this is a case study in Ujamaa, or cooperative economics. It is possible to do business in a different way, to cooperate, encourage, educate, listen, learn, share, all in service to planting hope for a better world, a better way to care for the earth. Wherever you have your garden, literal or metaphorical, I invite you this season to consider how you can engage in cooperative economics, Ujamaa, and how we can all deepen our connection with the earth and work to plant seeds of hope. Now, more than ever, we need to work together to plant these seeds today to create a better tomorrow. In closing, words from Michelle Obama. So don't ever underestimate the power of your voice, the power of your story, the power of your actions. Because when we all work together, when we all do our part, we can create a world that is more just, more equitable, and more beautiful than we ever thought possible. May it be so.
Unity that brings us together.
Umoja.
Unity that brings us together.
Umoja.
Unity that brings us together.
Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia. We will determine who we are. We will determine who we are. We will determine who we are. Ujima.
Working and building our union.
Ujima.
Working and building our union.
Ujima.
Working and building our union.
Ujama.
We'll spend our money wisely.
Ujama.
We'll spend our money wisely.
Ujama.
We'll spend our money wisely.
Nia.
We know the purpose of our lives.
Nia.
We know the purpose of our lives.
Nia.
We know the purpose of our lives.
Kumba.
All that we touch is more beautiful.
Kumba.
All that we touch is more beautiful.
Kumba.
All that we touch is more beautiful.
Imani. We will believe that we can. We know that we can. We will anyway. That we can.
So while I was in seminary, I took a class on spiritual practice that just so happened to be led by our beloved minister emeritus, Arvid Straube, who had been the lead minister here at ERUUF for 21 years. In an essay he asked us to write about prayer, I said, while prayer had been an important part of my life at one time, I missed this outpouring of my heart, which I could no longer figure out how to do without my mind being distracted by who or what I was praying to. Arvid's response to my essay, written on the page, was, "Jacqueline, just pray." Boy, did that annoy me. I, like Arvid, had grown up Christian. I had plenty of experience praying in a particular way to a particular entity for very particular reasons, but I was now done with all that. I had claimed my life as beloved in new ways, so just pray was not enough of an answer for me. Before that course had ended, though, I learned from Arvid that prayer is simply our most honest response to our conditionality in the universe. Prayer is when you are completely, vulnerably honest with yourself. He invited us to ask ourselves, what right now are my deepest yearnings? These yearnings are holy. And what are my deeper yearnings beyond that? These are holier still. We might pray, he said, to the mystery itself, which is not a who, and arguably not a what either. And humanists, atheists, or agnostics might offer prayers to the connection for all that is. Prayer is ultimately about coming into relationship with who you are, where you are, with all that is. So there are studies that have demonstrated that praying does something for the individuals praying, and it also does something in the world itself. And while there have been many problems with such studies as a result of biases, an article in the Indian Journal of Psychiatry noted that prayer is a special form of meditation and may therefore convey all the health benefits that have been associated with meditation, especially the psychological and biological changes that have been associated with improved health. In the Christian Bible, the Apostle Paul directed believers to pray without ceasing. Several years ago, I attended what is regarded as the largest spiritual gathering on our planet, the Kumbh Mela, which takes place in India every 3 years. Millions of people gather over a 6-week period to take part in sacred rituals, most notably a ritual bathing in the river Ganges, a ritual that remains rich in significance despite how humans have polluted the river. That's a story for another day. About 170 million people gathered in Allahabad, now known as Prayagraj, the year I attended the Kumbh. And yes, I did all the things, including a ritual head shaving during which I became auspiciously bald for the first time. But what struck me more than anything during the Kumbh was an ever constant 24-hour loud humming or buzzing noise, the sound of people chanting and praying, seemingly without ceasing. But I observed no one who was chanting and praying all the time, at least not we in our group. Yet it was obvious that millions of people among us were. It was a powerful experience to be in the middle of all that energy. People chanting, people praying to their gods and goddesses, to the river, to the source of all that is. It remains the greatest tangible experience I've ever had of being in and among the interdependent web of all existence, all beings, and what is known in Hindu cosmology as Indra's net. In the middle of all this, it occurred to me that someone, somewhere on our planet is praying or chanting, pouring out the vulnerable contents of their heart at all times. And this goes on without ceasing. Yesterday, I was listening to an NPR news report that at this past Friday's prayers in Syria at a historic mosque in the old city, thousands of people thronged inside the prayer room, with many more trying to get in to pray. Some who could never pray there in the past because they were frightened they would be imprisoned by the former regime. But now, in this moment, they could pray freely, and so they did. And at the end of this first Friday prayer, the crowd burst into cheers. I invite you to join me now for words of prayer and meditation. No cheers necessary at the end. Great mystery of all that is within and among us, manifesting as life and love. We are grateful this morning for our gathering, for being welcomed into this sacred space, for our sense of belonging to this place, for our hopes, for our dreams together. We express our gratitude for the joy made manifest on this third day of Advent, joy that we might receive irrespective of what spiritual or religious or no beliefs we might hold. We receive the joy, the peace, the hope nonetheless as a people in need of it all. We allow our hearts to acknowledge the joys, concerns, and great hurts of our world. We lift up all those who are suffering from the outcomes of war and violence and genocide in the all too many places it is occurring in this very moment. We pause in contemplation of this. We lift up all beings and our planet for the joys and interconnection they remind us of, and for the very real concerns. May they be held in our hearts. May our hearts compel us to act on behalf of them all in the specific ways we can. We bring forward and lift up the concerns of our congregation, those concerns named and unnamed, those new and those that have afflicted us for a long while. We join together our longings that all, both in this space and beyond it, receive what they most need in response to their concerns. We bring forward and lift up the joys of our congregation, those named and those unnamed, those new and those that have warmed our hearts for a long while. May we become awake to the moment by moment joy, delight, appreciation, and sources of gratitude that are among us all, even amid our concerns. May we join together in our joys such that all, both in this space and beyond it, may receive a benefit of its presence. Let us make it so. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
Good morning. So last year, I shared a reflection about losing my journal and the magical journey it took me on. Well, this year, on January 28th, I turned 55. And yes, the magic continues. It's like, where does the time really go? And then poof, gray hairs, I can't see, I'm hot, I'm cold, fat cells have made permanent homes, stiff joints, people dying, sunshine getting married, stray cats showing up on my doorstep. Reverend Jacqueline is the lead minister of ERUUF. Me, the administrator, celebrating 55 years around the sun. I wanted to lean into a bit more magic, so I did a thing, and I graduated from a 9-month writing intensive where I pushed myself with the help of an extraordinary midwife to complete a very personal memoir, which I will share one day. I did other things too. I won the lottery. Yes, I did. I went to Raleigh a few times this year, actually. I cashed in my winning tickets, I sure did. And I did what people do when they win. I spent it all. I gave it away. I even planned a trip to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl this year. The energy was incredible. I knew you didn't think I could afford to get there on my ERUUF salary. One of those trips landed me in Puerto Rico. In her book, Welcoming Spirit Home, Soban Fusame, bless her soul, writes, "If we believe that our greatest wounds are in fact our greatest gifts, we can embrace the idea that the hardships we experience in our families of origin are no accidents." I love Puerto Rico. I sat on the beach and looked across the ocean. I thought, what if every wave was a word or a sentence being communicated to me? Believing that the water calls us for more than her beauty, I leaned into what she had to say. My birthday had me full of gratitude. I wanted to celebrate folks who had ever helped me to celebrate my birthday. On the beach, I reminisced with calls and texts and sent thank yous. I used my social media memories to help me go back 15 years to turning 40 and the first party I had ever planned for myself. But then the memory stopped. I sat on the beach and looked across the ocean. I took a deep breath and watched the waves move in and out. I remembered that I didn't have any memories of receiving toys for the holidays. And I shook it off. I took another breath and watched more waves move in and out. I wanted to remember my birthdays as a child. I wanted to remember feeling special. So I sat on the beach, I looked across the ocean, I searched and I searched and I searched my memory bank, but I couldn't come up with one memory of ever receiving a toy or a gift for my birthday. I was crushed with the waves of reality. I thought about my children and hoped they had had birthdays to remember, so I called them to make sure. But then I thought about the significance of being a child who was never celebrated, and I wept for her. I sat on the beach and looked across the ocean. I took a deep breath and watched more waves move in and out. A new revelation was revealed. I can be sad and not depressed. I used to run from sadness, but I learned this year that I can be sad and not depressed. I am so proud of me. I can do hard things. There is hope for the flowers, and may the celebration and the gift of life continue. I hear angels singing.
Oh yes, we're running to Bethlehem.
marvelous, hasn't it? Yes. This is what we mean when we say that it takes so much for us to create beloved communities such as this together. It does take our time. It does take all the talents that we have here. And it also takes our treasure. As the greeters come forward to collect this morning's offering, if you have not anything to put into the pouches, please feel free to point your device at that big giant QR code over there, and you'll be led to our giving portal. There's also a card in your pew rack that's a little closer in, and you can point your device at that as well. And we shall continue with Reverend Jim.
One last lesson. Growing up, Christmas was probably my favorite holiday. So much of it in our family was about the delightful surprise and the magical moments discovered in the warmth of a dark hug. Like going to the Christmas Eve service at my Presbyterian church, then coming home after the candlelight service and making crafts with my mother in the kitchen, only lit by the overhead light on the oven. But as I moved into my adult years, I often found a nostalgia-fueled sorrow in the holiday season. My mother and I would get together briefly. Sometimes my father would join us. Then I would go home, and not much else. I've been a UU for a while, so Christmas Eve still held a candlelight service, but that was about all I did over the December holidays. And while I had home, I didn't have what felt like home in the holiday season. One year in Kansas City, Missouri, I decided it was time to do something about this. I planned a party for Christmas night that I repeated over the next few years. I invited tons of people, but made it clear this was a party for folks who needed someplace to be on that night specifically, who needed home. We had rituals of welcoming in the coming year. We had the most atrocious white elephant gift ever, as everyone was told they were to spend no money, even if that meant bringing something silly or dreadful. For instance, one year a friend of mine brought about 40 small boxes. That's 40 small boxes. See, she collected cat angel ornaments. Very specific. And she was cleaning out her collection, so she had brought about 40 of them to us. We each went home with about 3 cat angel ornaments that night. We made home for the holidays out of leftover food, horribly funny gifts, and the need to be together. As I moved away from Kansas City and to San Francisco, honestly, I lost a lot of that feeling of home. The gatherings that happened were just never what felt like that warm, dark, wintry hug. It was a struggle once again. Strangely, until I came to North Carolina. I first arrived on December 20th of 2020. A strange time to arrive anywhere, perhaps. After a couple days of being in our new apartment and living with my partner Braxton for the first time, he took me to his best friend's home, his best friend who is practically like a brother to him, for their multi-day festivities. Festivities that include Noche Buena dinner at midnight as Christmas Eve passes into Christmas Day, followed by lots of napping and relaxing. I've been absorbed lovingly into family, and in every way. Sometimes we rejoice. Sometimes we bicker and argue. And they have welcomed me in. Thank you, Marcia, and Julian, and Marcella, and Christine, and Jillian, of course. This year, I have gratitude for this current time when I have been welcomed home into new community. And I also hold gratitude for the past, when I was both sorrowful about my nostalgic lack of community and also brave enough to forge community with myself and others.
We offer our thanks for all of the wonderful gifts of our beloved community, especially the riches of gifts we have in music here at ERUUF.
Please rise, embody your spirit. Join me in singing our closing hymn. Deck the Hall with Boughs of Holly, number 235 in the gray hymnal, and the lyrics are on the screen. Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now a gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Trolley
Our closing words today are taken from On the Days I Eat, an essay by Colleen MacDonald.
Learning and playing music is a call to mindfulness.
Yeah.
Learning and playing music is a call to mindfulness. Tinkering away until the timer goes off does not qualify as practicing, any more than sitting in lotus position and waiting for the chimes to release you constitute meditating. Playing music does not belong on a to-do list. Getting to the end and finishing, or even playing all the notes in a piece correctly, is not the point.
Composers mean to transport us, take us on a journey, kindle our imagination, inspire hope and reverence, and bring us solace and joy. Musicians strive to convey beauty, excitement, and meaning, to communicate truth that cannot be put into words, to create something intangible yet vibrant and real, just short of birthing a living being.
You cannot be unconscious to enter into all that.
Dear friends, go awake, go aware, and conscious while on this journey. Most of all, go now in peace and go in joy. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.